name's Steven Cohen. I'm the Managing Director of this company. We're going to show you the incarnation of our latest software, which is the online version of nothing we've done before. And that's an important concept. I don't want you to think that what we've tried to do is just rewrite what we've always done on the web. Through all our years of experience, and this puts us in quite a different position to, let's say, two people in a garage in Scandinavia who wrote something great. We've been in the game for 20 years, and in that time we've accumulated 120, 180,000 businesses. So when we wrote this, I want you to appreciate that we had a wealth of knowledge, and we had the opportunity to do something from the beginning with all that knowledge. And we spent a fortune of time in deciding what features should go into this product, what features shouldn't go into this product. And I think that when accounting software was launched kind of 20 years ago, at that point in time you could say to businesses, you need to have a bookkeeper, and the product could be full of terminology like debits and credits and journals. But I think that it's moved on from there, and I think users now have a right to say to us, I don't want to have a bookkeeper, your stuff's too difficult to use. And now, you're forcing me to have a bookkeeper. So we have written this product to aim at the SME space. But it's interesting, because if you're a business that kind of buys and sells things and it's uncomplicated, you could have 50 users and use this stuff. So, the interesting dynamics here. However, if you're a business that needs manufacturing, then you won't be able to. And what we've done is we've really concentrated on spending a lot of time doing less, because we had to think about it very carefully. How do we keep this thing fresh? How do we make it easy to use? I'm lecturing you guys, but in the early days, when you're insecure and you find out what your competitors are doing, you're just adding features, adding features, adding features. Now what I found you end up doing is really talking to an audience of, let's say, 5% that really want those features, but you're complicating the life of the other 95%. And we've really tried to stay away from this. So to just tell you a bit about where we're going, this product is called My Business. And we are going to add cool things to this, but not complicated stuff. And to give an example, if somebody wants to add notes to transactions, we currently don't have that, and we'll probably put it in the next week or something. That to me is cool, and it doesn't complicate anybody's life. But if somebody says, I want to be able to capture my creditors in some weird way and split it over multiple periods, we're not going to do that kind of thing. So then we're going to cut the source for this and let it live organically. And then we're going to move this code base and then start to flesh it out into the whole partner range. And that we'll do with the regular feature-rich stuff, keeping this simple. Because I think if we build on this and make My Business just have more and more features, then you're going to lose that audience that I think at this point in time doesn't really do accounting. Period. You come in here, you can see the marketing's a bit different. It's got that organic vibe about it. You can see it's got a good Web 2.0 look and feel. It's clean, a lot of white stuff. You log in, and the first thing that you see is a snapshot of what your business is, which I think is very important. Traditionally, with legacy stuff, you would be going through reports, customers, there. And what that ends up having is at the guy's end, it's not like intuitive, and then people end up going to their accountant and saying, well, please give me that report. But now you come in here, and the stuff just jumps out at you. So what you see over here, on the top left, is your last 12 months sales. This month, this year, compared to last month, last year. So you can see February 9, February 8, January 9, January 8, and so it carries on. On the bottom left, you've got your top customers by sales. So you can see who are the guys that are already allowing you to pay salaries this month. On the top right are your to-dos, customers who haven't paid you, suppliers who you haven't paid based on the due date of the invoice, and a whole lot of other stuff. And then on the bottom right, you've got your top customers by their balance outstanding, so you know who owes you money. Now looking at that already gives you an absolute wealth of information that in legacy accounting systems is like a hidden treasure somewhere deep in the system that you've got to like kind of pull out. Okay, now what's also beautiful is if I then see in May, why is that month so high? You hover your mouse, it tells you what it is, and then you go into the actual days of May. Okay? And it tells you by day. Did you clap? Did you ever that for a And now you want to know, well, what happened on the 26th? You click in there, brings up all the invoices done on the 26th, and now you want to know, well, what did that invoice there, what was it about? What did they buy from you? And you go into the original invoice. Okay, so once again, for an entrepreneur who used to go to their bookkeeper all the time to pull stuff, they're just clicking around. And I think if you do that and the information becomes alive to you, you're more likely to investigate. You're more likely to understand your business a bit better. Because it's all there, it's all easy. Alright, looking at this again, I just want to say a bit more about it. Now obviously all this stuff is, for the journalists, we call this drill downs for some obscure reason. Okay, so you're drilling down into information as far as you can. You can do that throughout the product. But let's say we want to configure this, let's call it dashboard. You can go there and you can choose what you want. You know, the to-do list, cash movement, top purchased items. And so if I want supply balances, then obviously I can click that on the right. So now all of a sudden you've got top supplier purchases. And then you can drag these boxes around and you can put them wherever you want. You can really manage to do quite rich stuff on the interface, which you couldn't really do a few years ago. It was quite static. We still have those menus as Debbie moves across: customers, suppliers, items, accounts. We've done a lot of quick links. So if we go and have a look at our customer list, you can see on the bottom left, create a quote, sell items to a customer. Do you see the language? Not process an invoice to a customer. Okay, sell items, yeah, receive money from it. So I mean, tell me who doesn't understand that? So at the top left, you've got your customer name. We've stayed away from account numbers. Once again, that was legacy stuff that came through the last 20 years. Then you've got categories. So obviously you can categorize your stuff, because maybe if you're selling bicycles, maybe you'll categorize some of your customers wholesalers, some as retail, etc. What their balance is, whether they're active, their credit limit, their tax reference number for VAT. Okay, so what this is going to do is actually take you into Google Maps and show you where the customer is. That's good. You're looking at a master file, okay? The customer master file. So now you can see activities. You see all your purchases, etc., all that stuff. Additional contacts. You're trying to create a generic experience. Because maybe if you're running a bicycle business, you want to add certain things. What kind of riding does this person do? Off-road, on-road? Is this person wealthy because you want to maybe sell him a 50 grand bike as opposed to... So you can go and add these fields to force your employees to go and then populate them. So at least you get a decent profile of your customer. Alright, so now remember, we still go through here. Now you want to see what you've sold to this customer. So that's specific to the customer instead of the whole company which we showed you on the dashboard. And over here, if your quotes outstanding, you can see all your quotes outstanding to that customer. Now obviously you can get to this stuff in other ways. You can get a list of all quotes, but it's nice if you're just looking at that customer, maybe you're phoning them for money because they haven't paid you. At least very quickly all the information's there.